Oh, absolutely.
You guys are working?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fridays in the Valley. My name is Richard Buller. I'm the pastor here, and I know there's a lot of first-timers here. If you're a first-timer, I'm not going to I don't always call you out. I'm not going to ask you to come forward. First-timers to Fridays in the Valley. I know there's several folks. Exactly. Well, welcome. This is what happens the second Friday of every month. We have professional musicians come in and share their gifts with us. And we have an hour of sitting back and kicking back and listening to wonderful music. So tonight we have professionals, right, Roger? Semi. We have a wonderful group of professional tuba players. They've been with us since 2013. They started here at Valley for Fridays in the Valley, thanks to Vicki Wheeler, who said we need a quartet of tubas, and so Fridays in the Valley. So they started here and been playing every Christmas since, except last year. We had a snowstorm, and we had to cancel it. And Gary's from Wisconsin; he was the furthest one we were worried about. So we did not have tuba Christmas last year. So they're going to play 2 hours tonight, and so their lips are all ready for 2 hours of wonderful music with us. And what happens also is during the intermission we'll be hearing about PRISM, people responding in social ministry, PRISM. And their good work that they're doing this coming week of giving toys to kids and families. So we'll be talking about that and your possibility of giving some funds to that social ministry. So that's Gary, Brian, Ben, Gary, Roger. Come on, let's welcome the above average tuba quartet, everybody.
Thank you very much. We are the above-average tuba quartet, and we'll leave it up to you as to how above-average we are. We got the name because we're associated with the Lake Wobegon Brass Band, and so is Vicki Wheeler, the person who got us going, and others in the audience as well, as you can hear. Thank you for coming tonight. We really do appreciate it. Tubas are an important part of every band, and I think they're even more important at Christmas. We are tubists, all of us, and you might think that these two on this side are big and those two on that side are little, and you're actually right. They're about an octave apart. We play in the low B-flat range, and these two are known as tenor tubas, also known as euphoniums, and they play an octave above us. So between the four of us, we can get all of the octaves from an octave above the middle of the piano, middle C, all the way down to the bottom of the right hand, lowest note on the piano. We're going to be using them all tonight, I guarantee it. You can count them if you like and let me know if you hear any that we've missed, and we'll make them up at the end. Christmas is as you can see, a lot of fun, and we're going to start this concert next with the March of the Kings, a piece written, arranged by Jay Crush. I always like to play a piece from the popular literature, and this is one that kind of comes out of the brass band, the military band background, but it's also a piece that has a little bit of Christmas at the end in which you'll hear it. Gustav Holst is most famous for his work, The Planets, all of the 7 planets that he have that are in there, lacking, of course, the Earth and then Pluto, the one that wasn't discovered when Holst wrote it. He wrote this second military suite in about the tail end, just after the First World War, the tail end of the teens. And he published it 100 years ago this year, 1922. We're going to be playing 2 little bits of this. Gustav Holst absolutely adored folk songs, and so did a lot of his colleagues that wandered about and were British and English, and very English and Scottish composers. And he uses 3 interesting songs. One of them is called The Song of the Blacksmith, and it's a really sweet little song. It's energetic, and you can hear the hammer hitting the anvil as we go through this little piece of music. Yeah, we were wondering if our percussionist brought an anvil. Maybe next time we'll bring an anvil. And then the second one is a little piece called the Dargason. And it's a Scottish folk tune as well. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-ba-da-bum. You know the piece when you hear it. It's a delightful little piece. And at the very end, Gustav Holst throws us a curveball. The Dargason is in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And he puts in green sleeves at the end. And the green sleeves is in 3. So you've got 6 beats on the top, and at the same time, you got 3 beats on the bottom. And it's called a hemiola, but you'll really enjoy it because you can either pick which one you want to follow along with, the 6 per bar or the 3 per bar, and it works so sweetly, and it's a really wonderful quotation of this marvelous Christmas hymn. Here are the 2 pieces from the second suite of Gustav Holst: the Song of the Blacksmith and the Fantasia on the Dargason. Well, we decided to do something after that wonderfully delightful classical piece that's in the classical repertoire for brass players and bandsmen. We decided to do something crazy, a little crazy. Why not? It's Christmas. This is a really interesting, fun little arrangement of the 12 days of Christmas. And as you can see from your program, it's not spelled D-A-Y-S, it's spelled D-A-Z-E, and we'll see how much of a daze we can end up with when we're done playing this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. as crazy as tubas get. I mean, that's just it. We don't get much crazier than that. To my left here is Dr. Gary Bird. He is retired out of the Indiana University, Pennsylvania. He studied with some of the greatest teachers, including the fellow who's dedicated Tuba Christmas to, Harvey Phillips, is one of his professors. And he's also taught really wonderful tubists that are professional and are known around the world, such as Alan Baer, who is the principal tubist with the New York Philharmonic. To my right is Ben Bussey, who is doing his own great work in the state of Minnesota by teaching kids all around the state through McPhail. He teaches them via video teaches, and he also plays in a whole lot of local ensembles that are visiting, such as you'll see him in the pit in visiting stage shows and opera and shows like that, Broadway shows. You won't see him in the pit. Of course, he's too down. You have to lean up in there and take a look and wave at him. You'll see him down there. And then to my far right is Bein Borofsky. Bein Borofsky is a professor of physics, so he knows all about the physics of music and very, very tiny little bits of particles and how they lubricate things that are sliding over them. It's really he tries to explain it to us, but we never get it. We just never get it. He also plays. He's a lifelong player, and he plays with the Sheldon Theater Brass Band as a soloist there. My name is Roger Gamal, and I'm one of the original founders of the group about 10 years ago. This would be our 10th performance if we had done the other two. And I play in the Lake Wobegon Brass Band. We are also fortunate, as long as I'm talking about good fortune, to have conductors or composers around us. And this next piece, Still, is an arrangement of a traditional piece by one of the other founders of this ensemble, Eric Anderson, who now lives up in Grand Marais. I could tell you all about tuba maintenance here for a second. You know, you'd have to change the oil in your car. Well, you've got to put a little oil in the valves of your tuba once in a while. And to tell you the truth, you never know when it's going to happen. And it just happens once in a while, and it's in the middle of our concert. So Dr. Bird seems to be all greased up here, and away we go. Still, a traditional tune arranged by our friend and composer Eric Anderson. It is a most wonderful time of the year, isn't it? And it's a time in just a moment. We're going to play one more piece here, and then we'll be sharing the stage with the folks that talk to you about a really absolutely wonderful gift that is being given to the community by Prism. We're going to play a little bit out of the Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker. This will be the Waltz of the Flowery Tubas, and it's because it's pretty we wanted to play it, but it's also a bit of what we're going to be playing tomorrow night over at the tap room. It's the Boom Island Tap Room, and it's over in Yes, Minnetonka, of course. That's the name of the place. I remember that. Had to look it up. We'll tell you more about that and some other things in a moment. But here now, the Waltz of the Flowery Tubas from Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Ballet.
The above average tuba quartet, everybody. Gary and Roger, Ben, Brian, thank you. Thank you. You didn't see the heads bobbing out here. But there were a lot of heads waltzing out here. I'm sure tomorrow at Boom Island Brewery Company they'll be dancing tomorrow. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about PRISM, people responding in social ministry. It's our local food shelf here. They do more than food sharing here in Golden Valley. The person who was supposed to come and speak tonight, one of the staff members, emailed me at 5 to 7 tonight, and the family has COVID. And so yes, they're staying home. And so I brought, Pat Daly came walking into the door, and I said, Pat Daly. Members here at Valley know how I do this on a regular basis. Pat has been involved at PRISM for 10, 12, 15 years as a volunteer, giving of her time, and knows that place inside and out. And so I asked Pat to come to think of it, last month we had a concert, and the people for every meal couldn't make it either. Meals on Wheels, and we had a stand-in Valley member for that as well. So Pat, thank you for volunteering.
Again.
to share some good news about the toy shop.
Thank you, Richard. I have been volunteering at PRISM for, lots of years, mostly behind the scenes. And what we have coming up this Saturday is the toy shop, the holiday toy shop, which we've luckily been able to host again. We weren't hosting it over the couple of years of COVID. They came up with another way of doing it a little more safely, but we can be back here. We're really happy to be able to do that again. Currently, there are 797 kids registered, and there are 99 time slots that they come. So the family comes in, the parents come in and pick for their kids. There's still another 100 families in the pipeline trying to register, and that's actually one of the things I have done over the years. I haven't been working on it this year, but I have spent many hours getting all the information from all the families, verifying where they live and the ages of the kids, so that we can have enough toys around for them. And that is really the biggest problem, because as of today, now mind you, the event is next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. We're only a quarter of the way there to the amount of toys we'd like to have. And they are looking at needing another $12,000 to purchase toys. This guy here will be one of the people buying, very likely, on like the day of or the day before. He grabs whatever donations have been around, and he's at the toy store as well as some of the staff. It's feeling a little more concerning this year than it's been other years. So at this moment, any donation is very, very, very welcome. They will use the money to buy toys. Any toys that want to be dropped off, since the site is here, you could drop it off here all the way up until Friday. There are volunteer groups that sort the toys, put them into boxes by age over at PRISM, because most of the toys are being collected there. And then they'll bring them here, and it's a wonderful thing. I mean, it's really amazing event with, they're actually little elves that help each family walk along and help them. They hold the bags for the toys, and they help them pick out what they can get and guide them to the different areas. We even have a couple volunteers here at Valley that have taken on the job of collecting and packaging up wrapping paper and bows and cards. The families love it. They just love it. So definitely new and unwrapped toys. I'll also tell you that we do not take toys from Toys for Tots. You see an awful lot of press about that, but we used to, and it turns out that it just wasn't working out to be a good match for us. So we no longer get toys from them. So it is all donations from the local community, and anything that is donated tonight, I'll let you finish that sentence.
Anything that's donated tonight will go directly to PRISM for the toys. I mean, I will be going out, as Pat said, and buying toys. I will find out what age group is needed, and teenager or little tots or whatever it is, and I will be going out and play Santa Claus. So If you wish to make a donation tonight, the basket's back there. Write checks out to VCPC, Valley Community Presbyterian Church. And again, all the monies will go to kids. Nothing stays here. All will go to kids. One of the great things about that day, next Saturday, you're gonna tear up. The families, they come with heavy hearts and sad faces. And they leave with smiles on their faces and heavy bags to carry home. And it's just a wonderful thing to see. So, if anybody has $12,000,
We'll take 10.
we'll take 10.
Yeah.
Whatever you give will be used for the toys for the kids. So thank you so much. This group tonight, normally we give a stipend to the professionals who provide us music. They are giving their stipend to Toys to Prism for the toy shop. Let's give a round of applause for these guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Pat. Thanks for coming through the door at the right time tonight.
Anytime.
Wonderful. Let's. Are the lips good, Roger? The lips are good. Let's welcome the above-average tuba quartet back, everybody. Gary and Roger, Ben, Brian. Thank you so much.
So Julie says we sound kind of muffled, not very loud, but I'm fine out. That's the room, I guess. So maybe we should point them like in a marching band. You ready? 1, 2, ready?
That isn't a sweet arrangement. We really like that one. And you heard one of the low notes on that one. That was a low C, way at the bottom, way at the bottom. We're having a little fun here in this half, too, where we're going to play a couple of really sweet tunes. We'll play them next. It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, which is a little bit of a, you'll hear some jazz chords in it because it's composed by a jazzy friend of ours, Stan Bond, who some of you might know. He's a local trombone player, and he plays around town a lot. And he loves our little group, and he composed this piece for it. And after it, we'll hear another Eric Anderson piece, a setting of that beautiful lilting song, Jesu Bambino. You know, Eric wrote some stuff for us the year before last, and we had to cancel because of COVID. It was the 9th month and he also wrote some stuff for us last year. So we're piling a lot of Eric Anderson stuff into our thing tonight because he's such a good composer, and we really like him a lot. He did a really fun version of Good King Wenceslas, which we'd love to play for you right now. Moving toward our 8 o'clock deadline here, so I'm going to skip right on down to a really joyous piece by George Frederick Handel, the Hallelujah Chorus. It's a delightful piece of music, and if you want to, you can certainly sing along. Well, thank you very much. And thank you to all who are joining us in giving to PRISM. This is a wonderful cause, and it's a thing that really demonstrates the spirit of the season. The other thing that demonstrates the spirit of the season is a big red guy in a big red jacket and a hat and a sleigh, and sometimes if you listen really, really closely, I mean like really closely, there he is. Isn't this crazy? If you listen really closely, you can hear the bells of the sleigh as they come closer. The closer and closer and closer, and it's just delightful.
The above average tuba quartet, way above average. A minus, B plus, A, yes. Thank you guys for your gift of music, for your gift of your stipend to Prism, to the toy shop, a real gift to all of us tonight. In January, first of the year, as Fridays in the Valley continues on January 13th, at the grand piano will be a pianist by the name of Gail, and Julie will be playing the flute. And so be with us for another wonderful hour concert on January 13th. This has been going on for 10 years, as Roger was saying. Thanks to Vicki and Sue Ruby. It was Sue Ruby and Vicki Wheeler. Sue, come on in here. And Vicki, will you two stand up, please? Vicki, stand up. Sue Ruby. Round of applause for these two that thought of this 10 years ago. And yes, big round of applause. And what they do, they bring their spouses to work the sound booth. So we have Kurt and Kurt at the sound booth, and thank you guys. This is live streamed on our YouTube, so you can go back and listen to it if folks weren't able to be here. I was just out listening to it, and it's coming through loud and clear. So, and there's 6 people listening live tonight. And so it's one of those gifts that we have through all of COVID that we've been able to do live streaming. So please, these guys put the work together, so make sure you get a chance to see that as well. So that's all I have. Another round of applause for these 4 gentlemen. And Gary, Roger, Brian, Ben, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And don't forget, tomorrow night, the Boom Island Brewing Company, they'll be playing from 6 to 8. The flyers are back here.